What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and tonight I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers just finished up their NFL wildcard, super wildcard weekend playoff game with the Cleveland Browns, and someone should have told the Steelers what time the game was tonight. I'm sitting here, the game just wrapped, it's like 11:45 at night, it's going on midnight here on a Sunday night, but for as late as this game started, the Steelers started this game much, much later than Cleveland and the rest of the world did. We tuned in to see the Steelers get their asses kicked like we've never seen before to start a game. Quite literally, Cleveland came out making brand new first-time stats for themselves. I've talked all season long about how the Steelers have started slow and played sluggish and played from behind and had to rally and catch up. And we've seen it all season long. We've seen them underperforming, even winning games way too close for comfort, having to rally from behind like in Indianapolis, having to hold on to leads at the last second against inferior teams. We've seen it all season long, and we saw it again tonight to a brand new level. The NFL has been working out a deal now with Nickelodeon where they're playing playoff games on Nickelodeon with SpongeBob narrating. SpongeBob should have commentated tonight's game. In fact, the NFL should have worked out something with Comedy Central because that's where Pittsburgh belonged tonight because their team was a damn joke. They came out so ridiculous. On the first play of the game, right? We get the kickoff. We're down at the 15, 20-yard line, whatever. First offensive play of the game, Marquise Pouncey snaps the ball about 15 damn feet over Big Ben's head. We go careening back into the end zone. Ben and Connor are back there fumbling around like two comedians looking for their next joke. Can't hold the ball, and the Browns start off the Steelers' first offensive play by getting a fumble recovery in the end zone for a touchdown. We come out on the next drive, and Big Ben throws a pick. I don't know, something was wrong with his eyesight tonight, because Ben threw many picks tonight. Rumor has it, if you stay really quiet and you stare outside your window, you'll see Ben's passes flying down the street being intercepted by Browns players outside your neighborhood. Sell tickets, eat your popcorn, and watch the Browns getting the ball turned over from the Steelers tonight. Came out, second interception. Needless to say, we ended the first quarter down 28 to nothing. 28 to nothing. It is the most points scored by a team in any first quarter in playoff history on our home field. Where, Big Ben's record against the Browns is something insane, like, 66-3 or something crazy like that. We come out, of course I'm conjecture, but we come out and get blown off our home field in the playoffs with our team out there healthy for the most part. Get blown out of the water 28 to zip. Rally in the second quarter, kinda, sorta, and go into halftime down 35 to 10. To the Browns. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't want to underplay the Browns. The story of this game is how the Browns came out motivated and destroyed us. All hats off to them. I don't want to sit here and talk about, does Big Ben still have it? And is Ben going to come back next year? What's going to happen there? Is his arm still there? Is Ben still the quarterback he was? Obviously, with age, he's not exactly the same. You talk about Juju and the bulletin board material. That was one of the big stories this week. Juju doing all of his TikToks has been kind of a distraction storyline all season long, whether you believe that is or not. This week he said in the media, which of course was taken out of context, he said, just same old Browns that I always play. The Browns are the Browns. They're the same old team. We're not scared of them. That gave the Browns bulletin board material. Whether or not you want to say that's part of the reason we lost and you want to get into Juju and curses and all this stuff, no pun intended, you can say that's part of the case or not. Regardless of whether or not that's part of the reason we lost tonight, you are giving a hungry team that's been thirsting for a playoff win for something like 17 years, and probably even longer than that. You're giving a team like that bulletin board material and extra motivation to come out and kick our butts, and that's what they did. Not putting this on any one player. The team itself played like crap tonight. The offense came out. Ben had, I think, 3 first-half interceptions, and then we also had the fumble, which was Pouncey's fault. It's going to fall in the stat sheet on either Ben or Connor couldn't hold the ball, but it's Pouncey's fumble. So 4 first-half turnovers, and the Browns go in with 35 points. So not only were the Browns scoring on defense and scoring on short fields, but our defense had a hard time as well. It wasn't just the offense getting off to a nothing start, but the defense had the same problems this week as they had last week. And now, granted, we didn't have Joe Hayden, but that wasn't the problem. That wasn't the issue. The Browns did all the smart things they did last week, and Pittsburgh didn't make any adjustments till halftime. Pittsburgh did not learn from last week's game, in spite of the personnel. The things that made Cleveland good last week, go back and watch my tape. Go back and watch my review from last week. The things that I said, putting Jarvis Landry in the slot, Baker Mayfield not turning the ball over, getting the ball into the slot and the tight ends and Landry, where the inside linebackers had to cover Landry and got beat across the middle. Not tackling Chubb and Hunt, allowing the big gaps, the defensive line not getting pushed back into the backfield, so Chubb and Hunt are breaking long runs and getting the edge. Same things happened this week. Browns go get 35 points. Kareem Hunt with 2 nice first half touchdowns, which came on those gaps, which we didn't get any push on. Jarvis Landry had some nice catches, including a touchdown. Austin Hooper had some nice catches, including a touchdown. David Njoku got involved late. I don't know about the other tight end, the rookie. But they did the same things this week. We had a hard time tackling. We had a hard time covering the slot. We had a hard time getting pressure in the backfield. Really no splash plays at all. The defense tonight, for the first time this season, and I don't know if it's going to count against the streak because it wasn't a regular season game. This Pittsburgh defense, no turnovers at all, no forced fumbles, no fumble recoveries, no interceptions, no safeties, no sacks. No sacks for the first time this season. Again, it's not a regular season game, so it might not count against the regular season record, but no sacks. Barely any pressure at all in this game. Really didn't hear anything from our front seven. You didn't see, Spillane was back tonight playing. Didn't hear much out of him. Tyson Alualu, I think, had 1 tackle in the backfield. I think it was either Cam or I think TJ Watt got 1 and Cam got 1 batted balls at the line of scrimmage. Other than that, no pressure, no big hits, no big splash plays, nothing out of the defense. Now, the defense, after giving up 35 first half points, did come out in the second half and get 3 straight 3-and-outs, which did allow us to make a run. You knew Pittsburgh was going to make a run. They always rally. They wait till it's too late. They give you a heart attack. In fact, my body feels like I was on the field tonight. If it feels like I played in this game, I feel like crap. Having just been numb. Pittsburgh was in garbage time for most of this game. When I read these stats back to you, you're going to be like, wow, what a game for the offensive Steelers, right? How amazing. If I were to tell you in this game, Pittsburgh were to score 37 points, Big Ben were to throw for over 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, we would have 200-yard receivers. You would say, wow, Pittsburgh obviously went to a huge victory, right? Because their defense is so elite. If the offense did all that, the defense had to hold. It did not. The offense started terribly slow in the first half. The defense started terribly slow in the first half, and then couldn't get the stops we needed once we started to rally in the second half. Once the offense put together 3 straight touchdown drives, after the defense got 3 3-and-outs, the defense then couldn't get back off the field to keep the gap that close. After we got it to within 12 points, back and forth, we started scoring. Cleveland came back and answered. Then Pittsburgh would score really quick and give us a chance to come back, but it was too little too late because Cleveland came back and scored again. So, the defense couldn't provide enough resistance and couldn't get off the field in that late third quarter to mostly the fourth quarter. It was the big problem. By the end of the third quarter, Pittsburgh had the ball down 12 points. It was 4th and 1. We chose to go for a try to draw the team off sides and then punt the ball instead of going for it. But Pittsburgh got to within 12 points and the ball early in the fourth quarter with a whole quarter to go. It seemed like after Pittsburgh winning that third quarter, something like I think it was maybe 13-0 or 17-0 in the third quarter, Pittsburgh got their rally on, but then the defense allowed 2 straight drives with, I think 3 straight drives with scores and couldn't get off the field on third downs. So, again, all credit to the Cleveland Browns here. I want to make this clear. I did not respect the Cleveland Browns all season. I thought they didn't play very clean ball. I think their schedule was very strong. I thought they were beating up on bad teams. Early in the season, teams like Pittsburgh and Baltimore blew them out of the water, so I didn't have much respect for them. But once Odell Beckham Jr. went down and they had kind of more freedom and more autonomy to kind of run around, Baker opened up. Got less nervous out there, played a lot better. The running game got healthy, and they really became this running team. But Baker also came out there and played mistake-free football in the moments that mattered. He showed his evolution in the second half of this season, and he showed it in this game, winning his first playoff game. I think he had 267 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, not sacked, mistake-free football. You add into that the fact that Hunt had 2 rushing touchdowns. Chubb had, I think, a rushing and a receiving touchdown, maybe. Both of those guys played very, very well. Again, touchdowns for Hooper and Jarvis Landry. So they played really good ball, and the defense was opportunistic early on and got them out to a lead. If they hadn't gotten all those turnovers early on and gotten all those points, playing well on both ends, Pittsburgh would have caught up to them. We were down by only 12 points at one point in this game with plenty of time to go. So Cleveland not only got out to a big lead and scored the points when they had to, but also in the fourth quarter stayed on the field, ran the clock, made gutsy play calls, got the edge, just did all the things right. So that being said, let's look at some stats really quick. Again, these numbers are going to seem gaudy and exciting, but they're not because Pittsburgh was ostensibly in garbage time from the first quarter. You know, at the end of the first quarter, again, 28-0, Pittsburgh's playing from behind, letting loose on a relaxed Cleveland defense from the start of the second quarter on. So all these numbers are garbage time numbers, even though it was 3 quarters of the game. Big Ben, 47 of 68, 501 yards. These are, I think, playoff records. I think the 47 of 68 are completion and attempt playoff records. So Ben, 47 of 68, 501 yards, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. So you're seeing good Ben and bad Ben in the same breath. Running game is invisible once again. What do you expect? We did start off running the ball fairly successfully for the few plays we actually had the ball, where we weren't throwing picks to every Cleveland Brown possible. Connor finishes 11 carries, 37 yards, and a touchdown. Juju Smith-Schuster, again, he big numbers, did a lot, but didn't really do anything until it was 28-0. 13 catches, 157 yards, and a touchdown, so his numbers look great. He got downfield, he made some tough catches, but the Cleveland already had that game won. Deontay Johnson, 11 catches, 117 yards. Ebron had 60-plus and a touchdown. Claypool, I believe, was in the 60s, had 2 touchdowns in this game, so lots of numbers, but Ben slinging the ball around to a relaxed, 2-safety deep, middle of the field open Cleveland defense after they already had the lead. Again, biggest stat for the defense in this game, no sacks, no turnovers, no splash plays at all. Nothing special to report here. There's nothing I can really talk about. There's no one I can give credit to. Not even the stars. Cam Hayward, aside from I think he had 1 batted ball, had nothing going on. TJ Watt might have gotten like 2 quarterback hits all game, maybe. 1 batted ball. So nothing special out of him today. Good job. The Cleveland offensive line was getting a lot of credit by the commentators in this game for being pretty much the best offensive line in football, and they played like it tonight. Cleveland's offensive line deserves game balls across the board because we got no pressure. There was nothing out of Highsmith when he was in there. We started to play Cassius and Ola Adaney. Once Highsmith went down, they really got no pressure. Watt, like I said, 1 or 2 little plays, but nothing special out of him. Hayward with nothing, Tuitt with nothing. Tyson Alualu with 1 tackle in the backfield. That was it. Spillane didn't do much being in there. There's really no stats to go around considering. I mean, the defense did play a lot better in that third quarter, allowing pretty much nothing. But the other 3 quarters, not as impressive on defense. Again, you have to blame Pittsburgh across the board. You have to blame bad tackling. You have to blame bad scheming, not being able to take care of the Cleveland running backs, not being able to get any pressure on the defensive line, not being able to cover across the middle of the field and bring up your safeties, missing a ton of tackles. Terrell Edmonds, Spillane missed a lot of tackles tonight. Got to blame that. Offensively, Big Ben, again, 4 picks. And those picks were not like, well, they weren't tip balls. They weren't 50-50. They were bad picks. I would say all 4 of those picks were blatantly on Ben. He was thorough. I mean, he had a few drops tonight. Eric Ebron dropped a few balls. Deontay dropped one. One of the balls was tipped by Deontay that got picked. The other ones, they were all high and behind. They were bad balls. They were right to the linebackers. They weren't reading off the coverage. He was staring down receivers. Even a few completions were stared down receivers. Ben, for all of his numbers and his 500-plus yards, those turnovers were all Ben's fault. Not good numbers from Ben in that regard. The run game, once again, deserves some blame, but that also goes to a lot of the run blocking for the offensive line and from the offensive play calling from Randy Fiechner, who I don't think called a very good game tonight, but really it wasn't Fiechner, it was mostly Ben because we were behind by so much. Offensive line and Marquise Pouncey in particular, you got to give some big-time blame to. There was a third or fourth down we were trying to convert, and Pouncey got pushed back about 5 yards in the backfield and ran into Derek Watt and knocked him over short of the first down. So that was on Pouncey. Pouncey had the one, like I said, super high snap to start the game, which caused a Browns touchdown. Pouncey also, there was another play on a third down that we didn't we might have converted actually, but Ben had to snag the ball off the ground because it was such a low bad snap on a key play. Pouncey did not have a good game tonight. In fact, it was his worst. Matt Filer was back in there. Good to see him back healthy, but he had 2 key penalties in this game when we're trying to drive down the field. He was not his sharpest tonight. He didn't look very good. Again, there wasn't much run blocking to speak of. So across the board, you got problems. Ebron's still dropping a ton of balls. Deontay makes some nice catches like he did today at 11 catches, but he's still dropping balls. There's a lot to fix. Defensive line pressure, offensive line run blocking, offensive line penalties, wide receivers dropping, running backs not doing their thing, play calling bad, decision making on Ben's part bad, across the board bad. We need to get better. Cleveland deserved this win. Congratulations to ending your drought, Cleveland. You deserve this game. We have a lot of questions now. What is going to happen? We have, Big Ben. Is he going to come back next season? You got to discuss that. Juju and Connor, I think, both are free agents going into the offseason. Where do you take the run game? What do you do? Do you make Snell your guy? What do you do? Do you re-sign Connor and make him your guy? What you do? Do you continue with the committee? What do you do with the run game? Do you bring back Juju? You got 3 other very good receivers plus tight ends. Do you address tight end? Do you bring somebody else in? Vance McDonald's probably on his way out. Ebron is very good when he's good, but he drops like crazy. What do you do there? You got some things on the outside. Bud Dupree, did he play his last game for the Steelers? What do you do there? You got to address the slot. You got Mike Hilton, I believe, is going into free agency. I'm pretty sure. So you got a bunch of questions now. Pittsburgh, you got to look at this through tear-stained glasses. I hate to be negative. When Pittsburgh won the AFC North, they got 12 wins this season, which was more than anybody expected, except me. I said about 11-5, 12-4 if Ben stayed healthy, which he did. So I was about on the mark, but most fans expected way less. To stay healthy, to get 12 wins, to be the last undefeated team in the league this year, to win the AFC North, to get a playoff game, those are major positives. But you also got to look and say, you know what? We were 11-0, and people were questioning us then. We limped into the playoffs by winning only one of our last 5 games. We lost 4 out of 5, and the one win we got, we had to come back from behind by dramatic fashion in the fourth quarter. And then you go and, you go into to play a Browns team that you're favored to beat, and you go and lose, which could have been really, really a big blowout. The final score of this game was 48-37. Could have been way worse if we didn't make a second half run. So to be 11-0 and finish 12-4 and then go and lose pretty definitively in your first round playoff game, that's not a good season. That's not a good season, especially considering you've got a Hall of Fame quarterback that is nearing his end. This might have been his last game for the Steelers. He might have one more year left in him. Either way, he's not going to play beyond next season. So Hall of Fame quarterback is ending his run, and a lot of guys are free agents coming into the offseason. So this might have been one of our last chances, if not our last chance, to win one more title. What do you guys think of this game? What do you guys think of this season? Tell me in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed my Steeler reviews this year. I'll be giving you guys end-of-season breakdowns and stuff like that for free agency when it comes up. Also, stay tuned to my channel for other things like wrestling breakdowns, film reviews, poetry, acting scenes, all kind of different stuff on this channel. And also, of course, a bunch of Steeler coverage when it comes up as well. So please like, share, and subscribe. Please give my channel more exposure. Comment down below and bump these videos up if you enjoy them. I will see you guys in the offseason, Steeler fans. Still proud of my team. Go Steelers.